Hey everybody, John O'Connor here again. Today, I thought it'd be fun to have story time with all you good boys and girls out there. Today's selection is Jake the Fighter and the Devil Death. This is a lovely tale about how one courageous fighter by the name of Jake didn't die twice in a campaign, didn't die twice in an adventure, didn't just die in the same night at the same sitting, but how he died twice, back to back. But before we get started on that, I just want to take a second to thank everybody who watched my first video, left a comment, left a like, subscribed. I really do hope in the nearby future to be building a rapport relationship with all of you who find these videos enjoyable. You know, let me get to know you as you're getting to know me. Thank you guys. Alright, so a couple years ago, my family was going through some tough times, both close and extended. And my D&D group was meeting every Thursday, but I kind of had to give that up for just a little bit because my uncle, who I hadn't seen in over 15 years, was going through a tough divorce, needed to move from his, literally, the house on the hill to a apartment. So, helped him 2 weeks in a row, both times had to cancel my D&D night. And I finally went to my group and I said, hey guys, I think I'm going to have to cancel because I just don't have the time to sit down, plan a story for you guys, and then show up, tell the story, get up the next morning, and go help my uncle again. And the guys were all understanding. They're like, well, that sucks, but I guess we got to disband the group. But one of my players pulled me aside, Jonathan Mueller, and he actually said, hey man, I've been liking your D&D style. Sorry, the camera messed up there for a second. I'm using my sister's webcam. She's kind of lending it to me, / I stole it. I'm not sure how to use the fine controls on it, so if it starts zooming in and out, I'm not tampering with it. It's just that I don't have the manual, and if I did, I probably wouldn't read it. So anyways, my buddy Jonathan asked if he could take over DMing, and I said, oh yeah, no, that's not a problem at all. So he told me, okay, well next week, tell the 2 character sheets, both 2 level 5 characters. I said, okay. So built my characters, and I asked him, I said, it doesn't take a lot of time to set up something and, you know, make an adventure. He's like, well, yeah, if you do it all by yourself, but he's like, I'm going to use a pre-made adventure, Spider of the City Queen. City of the Spider Queen. Sorry for that. If I offended any drow out there, too damn bad. You're filthy drow and deserve to die. But yeah, so he was going to use a pre-made thing called City of the Spider Queen. I had never heard of it. It sounded kind of cool. And I just knew I had to build 2 characters. Well, before we even got to that, the first adventure night, we weren't even dealing with the pre-made campaign. He'd made a small little area for us to level up and, you know, really involve us in a story that would just lead into that one. So I thought it was pretty cool, actually. But the problem that we had, and a problem we've never had since, is that my buddy Jonathan thought it'd be cool to use the Deck of Many Things. Thought it was cool at the time. I wasn't the DM, didn't know how broken it was. So my first character goes, gets his wishes, doesn't die because the void, thank the gods. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's kind of cool. Well, my second character, Jake the Fighter, comes up, and he saw what the first guy did, and he's like, well, I don't want to use that many wishes, because the first character I played was, took the d20, rolled it, got a 13, I said, I'll have 13 wishes. I got lucky. Extremely lucky. So, the second character goes up, and he's like, well, don't think I want 13 wishes. I'll take 5. Just 5. Different cards come up, and I get the wish card with 3 wishes on it. I don't remember what my first wish was, but my second wish was, I wish to avoid the next impending danger that comes to me and have it just disappear. And my third wish was, if I was to die, I wish to be resurrected immediately. I think I broke the game a little bit by saying, with full health and full stamina, like I had just woken up from an 8-hour nap. Yeah, cards go up. Next card comes up, it's the Void, but my second wish was next immediate parent danger, so the Void card goes away. I was like, I was lucky. Alright, cool. I don't think about the wishes for a long time, and we progress in this story. I'm not sure how the story is supposed to be played properly, but because I'm a jackass, the other guy playing with us, my buddy Nick, he's a jackass. So we're going through this, and we have taken this thick book, which is a complicated story with all this espionage and background and things. We have turned this into a glorified home invasion. The GM said you were bad, so you don't deserve to own nice things. We're slaughtering Drow as we go further and further in this thing. And he's like leaving these hints and stuff. You know, this piece of parchment written like, I don't read Elven. Give it to the other guy. I read Elven, but I'm too busy right now. So we get up to this part where we finally get to there was the entrance to the cave, and then the cave finally opened up to something else. And there was this nice waterfall on one side, but on our side it was this huge web. There's this giant spider looking down, but not doing anything. And there's all these drow walking on the strings. Jonathan takes the time to explain how there's two kinds of strings. There's this thick white one that they're walking on, and this other thinner one that there's a couple creatures stuck to it that have been like cocooned in it. And I was like, although I was paying attention, I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at how am I going to be a jackass again. Well, I get to the end of the thing with my first character, look around, I notice there's somewhere to tie something off. So I think I'm going to be Mr. Spelunker, jump off the side, and I get stuck in the web. And I'm like, oh shit. It was like the Fly. Help me! Help me! I see this huge spider coming down. My buddy Nick's two characters look at the thing, look at me, look at the thing, and they have that moment of, we should run. And then one of his characters goes, hold on. We've got arrows. We got bows and arrows. And so he has this little dialogue with himself about convincing the other guy, let's just shoot it with the bows and arrows, but not go down there. And he's like, well, okay, well, let's do that. But because it's one of my characters, like, I've got two, and one of the few times I've ever played two characters and I wasn't the DM, I'm like, well, I want both my characters as the story goes on. This is bullshit. Second character gets the same idea. I'm gonna go spelunking. Takes their rope out. They have one rank in rope, 0 dexterity. Ties the rope up, and I roll my rope check, and I see it's a 4. And I was like, oh. It wasn't, I rolled a 4. It was a 4 overall. Well, I get a little angsty, and I don't know. And Jonathan, no, you said you were going to tie that rope, jump off the side with your sword in hand, and just attack this spider. Well, yeah, that's what I said, but that's a 4. I don't care. That's what you said you're going to do. Commit to it. Okay. So Jake the fighter, in all his glory, flies off the side of the cavern, the cave, makes immediate impact on the spider. I actually criticaled on the attack. And John said, well, that's a circumstantial bonus that, you're doing all this stuff and you're falling off the side. He's like, instead of a +2 bonus to your weapon, make it a +4. I was like, oh, cool. So I get this +4 bonus to kill this spider. And I fillet it, and it's all this beautiful glory of guts gushing out, and then I'm just covered in spider entrails. And then I hit the end of the rope, and I feel that snag. Oh my god, the rope caught me. He's like, yeah, the rope catches you, and then you're not under the pressure loosens. I was, oh, no, please, like, and he's looking at me calmly. Loosens. So my character starts falling down. My fighter, in their full plate, falls into this raging river that was at the bottom of the cavern, grabs onto a rock. He's like, well, make me a climb check. Roll the climb check. Alright, I made the climb check. I climb up. Maybe another climb check. Roll the dice again. I slipped! He's like, well, you're back in the water, man. Make a swim check. Thud! I don't make that swim check. He's like, alright, you go down a little bit. There's another rock. Do you grab it? I'm like, oh yeah, I grab it. He's like, alright, well, make me another climb check. Make the first climb check. Get up there. He's like, alright, cool. You're back at the first rock where you slipped. Make me another climb check. Climb! Oh, I slip again! Fall! He's like, alright, you fell too fast this time. You don't grab onto the second rock this time. No, what happens? What happens? I'm panicking. Absolutely panicking, because I have built an emotional attachment to this character who I didn't give two shits about 2 minutes before, but it killed this spider gloriously, and I was like, this is the warrior that I shall be. He's like, well, you fall under, and he's reading from the book now, from his pre-made campaign. You fall into this pre-made river, or this, not pre-made river, obviously it's pre-made because he's using it. He's like, you fall into this underground river, and the next exit out of the river is about 4 miles down. Shit. I start looking, I pull up my rule books. I'm like, well, I can hold my breath. And he looks at my constitution score, he's like, no, you couldn't. Not. This is a 4-mile river. I was like, well, you said it was a rushing river. He's like, it's not rushing that fast. He's like, just come to terms with it, man. Your character is dead. I was like, but I don't want my character to be dead. He's like, just, dude, you got another one. Just be okay with it. And I was like, all right, well, I still got my other character. And I was like, I was just beaten down at that point. I was like, I really wanted to play this fighter who I just made badass that killed this giant spider, but it wasn't going to happen. I'm kind of sulking for a second. It was actually, we had this back and forth for about 20 minutes, and it got into some of our game time, so we ended the night after that. And I'm sitting there sulking. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want my character to die, but I got the other one. We're saying our goodbyes, and Nick, just out of nowhere, goes, hey, man. I look back at him. Yeah, what's going on, Nick? What was your wish on your other character? I was like, what do you mean my character? He's like, well, Jake the Fighter. I was like, well, my wish was that he would be revived at instant death. I could still come back. We start going through the rule books again. We start looking. John's thinking of why he's not alive. I'm thinking of why he is alive. Jonathan looks at me and goes, well, I looked at your constitution score, looked at the speed of the river. You would drown again. And I was like, no, come on, man. I can hold my breath and come out the other entrance. It's like, it's just not in the cards, man. And like, he just wouldn't give it to me. It's like, your character drowned again. And I just, again, put my head down in disappointment. Going, oh, I died again. But once again, Nick, I'm calling you out on your shit, because you're a dick. Looks at me and goes, you know, now that I think about it, what happens when a character gets revived in, you know, the game, or a movie, or a book? I was like, I don't know, man, what happens? You know, I'm just sitting there sulking, kind of like kicking my can, I want to go home. He's like, well, the first thing that happens is, you do this. Eyes closed, leaning back, flat surface. He did that pantomime, and I was like, no, my character didn't do that. My character... DM rolling. Because Jonathan just had to have it. DM rolling. Oh, no. All revivals, you gasp for air. That's the first thing to do. And that rule still applies today. We have never changed that rule. That is on the books. If you die and are revived, your body naturally craves air. So that's the first thing you do. Doesn't matter if I'm DMing or he's DMing. That's the rule. So, they made fun of me like for weeks about this. And it took a while for me to actually become a good sport about it. Oh, I had the character who had double death. But just think about that for a second. You killed this spider to save your ally. You fall in the river. You try to climb back out. It doesn't work. You fall under. And you drowned. But instead of being ascended to the deity that you pray and worship in the plane that you believe you deserve to be on, because you are a warrior of that god or goddess that you embody, you were smart, and you went, nay, nay, nay. If I was to die in battle, glorious battle, I would be revived instantly, scaring my foe and slaying them down. Which I was. But my foe was water. And water doesn't fear. Water doesn't retreat. Water just drowned your ass twice. And that's the story of Jake the Fighter and the Double Death.